TikTok compilation that might wake you up and change your reality. Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Rockefellers were the wealthiest family in the world and used a secret system called the waterfall method to continue growing their wealth for 7 generations. I'm going to expose what the waterfall method is. John D. Rockefeller founded Standard Oil in 1870 and took control of the entire oil industry, becoming insanely wealthy. But that's not even why he's considered the savviest man to walk the planet. During this time, there were many other wealthy families, such as the Vanderbilts, who were actually wealthier than the Rockefellers, but sadly lost their money 4 generations down. John D. Rockefeller knew this could be a problem for his family after he passed away, so he created the famous Rockefeller waterfall method to ensure his family never went broke. Here's how the waterfall method works. Every single individual in the Rockefeller family received a very large life insurance policy. The beneficiaries of those life insurance policies always tied back to the trust, and inside the trust was a cash value life insurance policy, which was used as the family bank. Family members could take loans equivalent to the amount inside the cash value, and when they died, their death benefits would pay back any outstanding loans, thus reloading all the funds they used throughout their life. This is the waterfall method, also commonly known as infinite banking. If you want to learn how you can set this up for yourself, comment the word waterfall.
The question is, which insurance companies stand behind this method? And who's the richest between the Rothschilds and Rockefellers? I would say the Rothschild. What do you think?
And I'll send you a DM.
The most dangerous spiders in the world, and tonight found in Newcastle, is making history for the largest web ever found.
Local experts say it's one of the largest spider species in the world.
It's the biggest we've ever received.
I did not expect to find the world's deadliest spider.
They are dangerous. They are one of the most venomous spiders in the world.
This is so weird. Oh my God. They're so strange. Such a strange animal.
What is that?
Ooh.
Back here in our country, police in the city of Edmonton have released video of a cave which they say was being used as a shelter for someone.
I've not seen something with the populations this abundant in quite some time. They're super annoying because they kind of get all over everything.
Here we've got a chamber which is absolutely covered in witch marks, and what these are here for is in order to ward off evil of all sorts.
From eerie humanoid figures lurking in the shadows to mysterious creatures living high up in the mountains. These caves, housing millennia-old critters, hold the truths of myths, which I will be revealing for you now. So, tag along for the creepiest cave discoveries that will leave you stunned. In this incredible footage from a visitor at the Giant's Causeway, some people witness a hidden door in the mountains closing.
Today we're being told tourists and National Trust rangers saw the legendary Finn disappear into a magical doorway.
Look. The camouflage door blends perfectly with the rock face, closing seamlessly and leaving no trace, except shocked witnesses.
I would think he might need a long sleep after this busy summer season.
Could it be a giant vanishing into the rocks? The video, shot on a mobile phone, appears to show a door to a hidden passage or cave in the mountains. According to the employees, this door leads to a spacious chamber deep within the cliffs, an ideal spot for a giant to sleep undisturbed. The sighting has left everyone amazed and wondering if the legends are true.
Anybody from along this part of the coast knows that through the summertime you'll regularly see Finn McCool somewhere along the Giant's Causeway. But
witch marks. If there's a gateway to hell, a portal from the underworld used by demons and witches to wreak their evil havoc on humanity, then it could be in a small East Midlands cave. Hundreds of witches' marks, believed to be from the 17th and 18th centuries, have been discovered at Cresswell Crags, Nottinghamshire. These marks, also known as apotropaic marks, were scribed into the cave surface, as they were thought to keep evil spirits from coming from the underworld.
Wait, this is about spiders or giant rocks or witches? or mysterious creatures? I'm confused. My goodness. Oh my god. No, put some more. Oh man. This looks terrible. He worked 15 hours, maybe put in a little more effort. Jeez. And the salt? Are you trying to unalive him, ma'am? I'm shocked she didn't lift the eggshell in.
Guys, I swear on my life, I'm not trying to ruin your good time. I'm only telling you this because I think you should know. Do you see this man making a kebab right there on that little pan? They clean those pans in the Seine. And I know this, and I still kind of want to buy one. Like I said, I'm not trying to ruin your good time. I would probably still eat one because I'm disgusting and desperate times. I'm not going to get one. I just feel as though people who are weird about germs should have the information. I think everyone should always have the information to make a decision. And if you want to make a decision about buying a kebab on the sidewalk in front of the Eiffel Tower, you should know that they clean the thing in the Seine. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. Sometimes you're hungry enough or drunk enough or desperate enough or kind of gross enough to not even care, and that's fine. I swear to God, if I didn't just come from a 6-course dinner, I probably would eat one of those because honestly, he's heating
you
it
don't.
up. The germs probably die. But there's people who are weird about germs, and I just want you to have the information, and that's why I'm here. That's why I have my job, to give you guys the information, okay? Okay. Bye.
Aren't people pooping in the Seine? There's literally videos on TikTok of those guys cleaning the pans in the Seine. The Seine is river if you don't know.
Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-Kul in Arabic. Vodka is called spirit. Jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spirit in witchcraft. This is where we get the word jinx from. When you jinx something, it means bad luck, because they hide the spiritual planes from you. They want you to believe everything is just physical. Consuming alcohol destroys the connection between your etheric body and allows spiritual entities to attack your chakra system. Alcohol destroys brain cells, which weakens the connection between your mind and brain. All religions condemn alcohol because it originates from witchcraft. When you are really drunk and you don't know what you're doing, this is when you are fully possessed. This stuff is real, people. If you have the ability to astral project, you can literally see these entities for yourself. These open your mind. This attacks you spiritually. Why do you think these are illegal and this is legal?
This time I somewhat agree with this guy. Alcohol does more harm than good to you.
An amazing new initiative in Italy. Pay attention, people. This is real. The region of Tuscany is looking for anyone, really, who wants to move there and buy a home. They're offering up to $32,000 to help defray the cost of renovations if you buy a home in any one of 76 small towns, some are on your screen right now, that have suffered a population loss in the last few decades. So they're trying to rebuild the region. There are some conditions, and again, this is serious. I think some people will really be thinking about this. You get up to $32K for the renovation. Okay. You have to commit to a 10-year residency, and this has to be your permanent home.
Why did everyone leave? That's my first question.
So my son and I are driving, and this is what we see in the sky. Like, look at those colors. That is so bright. Like, there's nothing else around. I don't know where it came from, but it's so bright in colors. So cool.
She just captured the clearest clip of a fire rainbow I ever seen.
Think that the American dream is dead. We cannot use the same playbook our parents gave us to live life today, right? We've been told this American dream. You work hard, you study good, you go to college, you get a good job, you climb the corporate ladder, and you will be able to buy that white picket fence home, go on 2 vacations a year, and have your 2 kids and a golden retriever. It doesn't work like that anymore. You cannot save your way to rich unless you are making upwards of $500,000 a year. You cannot get there through saving.
I've seen more foreigners get the American dream more than Americans.
Officially 7 days on the carnivore diet. I'm going to tell you all the things I've noticed positively and all the negative things. But first, I'm going to eat steak with 4 scrambled eggs. I'm a little hungry today. I'm down 6 pounds and I definitely can tell it's a lot in my face. That's one of the positives. Another positive thing that I completely forgot to mention is my cellulite is getting less and less. And I noticed it around like day 3. I have some really bad cellulite on the side of my legs and on the back of my legs, and it has definitely decreased a lot. Another positive is I don't really feel like I have cravings. I feel satisfied. I feel full. I only eat like 2 or 3 times a day, but like that's enough. I eat until I'm full and I'm good. Another positive is I feel like I have a lot more energy and stamina when I lift weights. I don't get like that crash at 3 p.m. One of the negatives is that I'm constantly thirsty, and so I pee a lot because I'm drinking a lot. It's really annoying having to cook on the spot or prepping food. When I need food, it's like a big ordeal to make it, which is very annoying. And I feel like I'm really annoying like my husband and my family because all I'm doing is like eating meat and they think it's really annoying. Another negative is I can only eat from a cutting board. I have also noticed I'm getting muscle cramps like in my feet and in my legs. It's one of the negatives. I don't think I've ever really experienced that before except during pregnancy. I rely on food a lot when like I'm triggered from my kids or I'm bored, and like I'll go to my pantry and I don't even want to eat and I feel full and I'm like, what am I doing? And then I realize I'm like, oh, this is when I usually would like binge, but I don't want to binge, if that makes sense. I can see myself getting sick of this in about another 7 days, but I really think I'm going to be able to do this for the 30 days, and I'm really interested in seeing like what happens. But being strict carnivore, at least for me, I can tell you it's not going to be sustainable.
I hear the carnivore diet is good for type O blood types. Drop a comment if you know.
I look at my tongue every morning when I wake up. Do you look at your tongue?
Not really.
Okay, so when you look at your tongue, does it have a white coat on it? If it has a white coat on it, that can be a sign of candida, of too much yeast in your system and your body's detoxing it. You can also look at your tongue when you fast. Sometimes it'll go black, and that's like candida coming out. That's yeast coming out. So make sure you're looking at your tongue. Every morning I look at my tongue. So, because at night you kind of see what's detoxing out of you.
So if it's white, what do I do? If it's black, what do I do?
So if it's white and black, you have candida. That's a sign of too much yeast in the system. I mean, fasting can help. Getting off sugar, alcohol, fruits can help. We just find people who fast, especially if you go into longer fasts, it'll start to change. We've even done some interesting community fasts where we have people watch their fast and they decide to break their fast based off what their tongue is doing. So if it's white and it's black and it's getting worse, keep going. If you can keep going until it starts to turn pink. And then the outside of the tongue will actually start to turn pink. And then we know, okay, the yeast is starting to die off. Go ahead and break your fast.
Candida overgrowth causes all kinds of issues: eczema, acne, foot fungus, dandruff, etc. Try to eat lots of food with probiotics in them. Gotta get as much as good bacteria as possible.
This is not a concept car. This is the world's first robo-taxi, and it's come to pick me up. Completely driverless. Look, this is the front, but this is also the front. Open doors, ready? Check this out. Look, no driver. As you can see, you've got 4 seats facing each other. It was inspired by a 19th century horse carriage. Who would have thunk it, right? Right, how does it work? Right here, check this out. Radar technology, LiDAR, cameras, thermal imaging. This is a Zoox, and I've just hailed it from an app. 10 years. of research and development has gone into this, and it's going to be rolled out on public roads really soon. I'm actually driving on a public road today with this. Now, what you've got is, for each passenger, wireless phone charger, you've got a cup holder, USB-C port. Okay, use the touchscreen to close the doors. Let's go. Here we go. So this is just like any other ride-hailing service, but with no driver, which means you don't have to put up with like some angry driver in the front that completely ruins your day. Oh, here we go. Now up here, you can see, this is called the Celestial Headliner. So you've got lights in the roof, which you know I love. Now safety, they've redesigned all of the airbags because of course this is a whole new cabin. Airbags come down from here, boom, from the side, from the back, everywhere. You are encompassed by airbags if needed. This is a camera and that connects to a real human who can watch you just for your safety, right? If something happens to you, they can make sure you're safe. Look, driving next to a truck right now. Here we are in like a lounge room. There's no angry driver you need to worry about. You're here with your mates, chuck on some tunes, go out. Love it. I actually think it's cool. It's the future. Future's here. What do you reckon?
All the jobs will be eaten by these robots. Then what will humans do?
No one questions how insane it is that every person, or almost every person, is expected to work 9 to 5, yet all of the things that we need to do are businesses that are open from 9 to 5. Like, oh, you needed to get something done? Well, you can't because you work 9 to 5 and the business you need to go to also is only open 9 to 5. So that means if you want to go there, you either have to take a sick day, some vacation time, or you, if you're lucky that they're open on the weekend, have to go on the weekend with all of the other sheep. I just don't understand why people keep going to bat for this system that locks people in cages and then only lets them out on evenings and 2 days at the end of the week so that they have to battle with everyone else just to do all of the things they actually want to do. Now, I get it. It isn't always just 9 to 5, but it's some variation of that, always. Like, how do people think it's a fair trade to do that for 40 or 50 years, and in return, all you get is like 15 or 20 years of freedom if you live long enough, and of course, after you're too old to actually enjoy that freedom. Like, there's so many things wrong with the system, I just can't imagine being a part of it. I escaped 5 years ago. I don't know how all you people are doing it. Whatever you do, try to find a way to escape, because trust me, it's not worth it.
We question it. No one's listening.
In science news, what the holy did you guys create? A lab out of Tokyo decided to try to make living skin out of human cell cultures in order to have a robotic skin that acts more similarly to our own. Now, when I first saw this, honestly, I thought surely that's silicone, but no, it's actual human tissue.
Ew.
One of the big problems for robotic skins is that they don't have that strength and elasticity that ours have, so why not create something that's alive and can heal? What you're looking at here is the actual anchoring to the tissue matrix, and it actually has elasticity and moves a lot like our skin. They also want to add sebaceous glands, a complete circulatory system, nerve endings, and a living skin that can heal. Although I think that makes it susceptible to infection. Aside from the extraordinarily creepy aspects of this could be a game changer for people with amputations. Imagine having a robotic limb that you can actually feel. Something that functions very much like your actual skin. I do, however, think that sometimes scientists spend too much time in the lab and just forget how goddamn creepy things are sometimes. I am going to have nightmares.
Nice. Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, if you came into that cloud. Look, look.
Okay, so, look, listen to me. I'm sitting in my house, right? You see me make a video of somebody or something in the sun. It's a clear day.
Oh, I see it. It is so pretty. What is it? I remind you all, right? Don't keep too much of meditation on what's going on up there. You just take a peek. You get the
Go up to pray then. Too late to pray. Just a second, please. Once the map form, it's too late to pray. That's the end of everything, as I said before inside. That's the end. You ain't got no chance more to get nothing right.
Yeah, you can't until that cloud.
Look, look. Look on his phone. Look. Look on his phone. Look.
I see it. You gotta put your glasses back on there.
Look. Oh, it's bright now.
It's bright now. I'm seeing it. It's a serious sign, brother. It's serious.
You gotta full entire.
You're about to fall for Blue Beam, not me. I knew their plan. Don't be deceived.
This eerie video was posted by Exploit1, I'll tag him below, and they were pursued by a pack of orcas after fishing in an area where they were hunting. And while an attack on a human in the wild has never been recorded, it's certainly not a statistic that I'd want to test myself. And scientists don't really know why they don't attack us, with some believing that they're intelligent enough to know that if they attack us, it'll result in retaliation, while others believe that they're just really picky eaters. But in this next clip, you'll see a close call when two kids come face to face with orcas in New Zealand.
Stay still. Just let them go past.
What an experience. That's cool. That's a lifetime experience for you.
Woo!
Now get out of there.
Wow.
I don't think they're being pursued, just followed. Orcas have learned that the ships drop a lot of fish. What do you think?
Did anybody else know that they built the entire Empire State Building in 1 year? In the 1930s. And I'm not just talking about the exterior, I'm talking about the interior. The whole building was finished. Plumbing, electrical, elevators. What's crazier is if you exclude the interior work, they actually finished the building a lot faster than that. Because if you look here, construction started on March 17th, 1930, and the building was topped out by the 19th of September, 102 floors in 7 months. If I was asked this question on a game show, I would have got it so wrong. I would have said like 15 years. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because yesterday was the 93rd birthday of the Empire State Building, and they brought this fact up, and I could not believe it. Then my second thought was, well, if they built that building that quickly, a lot of people must have been dropping out, if you get what I'm saying, because safety back then was not great. And that was another surprise to me, because according to Google, only 5 workers lost their life during the construction of the building. But there is a bit of an asterisk there. As you can see on this bottom portion, it says there are many unofficial accounts that point to higher numbers. And I also believe that that number was way higher than 5, because record keeping in the 1930s and 20s probably wasn't the best. Like, people just straight up disappeared back then. If you didn't like your wife anymore, you could just tell everybody she went on vacation, you know, and that was it.
I'm guessing it was built before labor laws or unions. The majority of the workers were probably paid by the job rather than by the hour.
I've been a Christian a month now, and it's been a big change. Not that I've entirely changed as a person, of course I haven't, but I've taken on a lot of new concepts, and it changes you to accept that it's not like you're in a game show and by doing really, really good things you can get redeemed. No, repentance, to repent, means that you have to continually change and acknowledge that I am in a battle against myself, that I need to surrender myself to an ever-present, internal and accessible Jesus, that mercy is something that's given to me,
Every
granted
minute.
to me, that I live with through love, not something that I can sort of win or achieve by doing good deeds. It's brought incredible people to me, incredible literature to me. It's brought a sense of peace. And when I'm in doubt, I feel that instruction is there accessible. That I feel like I know what I'm supposed to do. And when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, that's even clearer. When I feel myself being selfish or inconsiderate or putting myself first or not thinking about how I can be better to other people. It's as if there is an inner illumination available to me now. I love the simplicity of the idea of God come to earth as a man to experience what it is to be human and to sacrifice himself, because that's the only sacrifice that could bring us home, that could give us the opportunity for redemption. I like the idea when I'm in prayer and in communion just alone, that there is a figure available, wounded and coronated, available to me. In my failings and my failures and in my fallibility, there is strength. To be broken, not just broken by life in the sense of life is wearying and exhausting, but to be broken in the same way that you have to train an animal to behave itself, to be broken into better conduct. It's a beautiful journey to go on. I know I'm just at the beginning. I know I'm just learning. I know there's so much more to learn, and I'm so excited to learn more from you and for us to learn together. Let me know where your journey's taking you. Can you remember your first month as a Christian? And let me know if, since I've been talking about this publicly, it's made you think about Christianity differently. We're having lots of conversations about this stuff, and I'm so grateful to be having them with you. Stay free.
Praise the Lord. The Lord has changed me in ways I didn't know was even possible.
Bishop Marmari.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. And he's like, he lost his eyebrow. I know. And I'm here like talking about me getting slapped. I'm gonna go to war. And like this poor gentleman is nothing but spreading the word and doing good. Literally loses his eye. And all he could do is pray for this guy like if it was his mother, brother, sister.
You know what broke my heart, bro? He's an Assyrian man. And like every culture, there's separation in the culture, right? I had a few Assyrians come up to me and they'd be like, bro, I don't even believe that he lost his eye. I think he's covering it. And I'm like, for you to just lie and go and like tell people to believe that lie, it's not only that he lost his eye and he's so gracious about it.
You can see that when it's in slow motion, the thing's not open, but he hits him in the eye. Man.
And bro, he was praying on him right when he got hit. The guy got hit in the eye, his eye's hurting like really bad. And then immediately he starts praying over him. But people would be like, nah, bro, that's fake. And I'm like, dang, bro, you could really do the greatest thing in the world and people could say something bad about it.
He lives in a different spiritual realm.
He is a wonderful man with an incredible kind soul. Praise the Lord.
7 years ago, when I was working with you, I was dead broke, man. That job for me as a stand-in was one of the lifelines that kept me from completely just drowning in financial misery. I essentially had to let go of the reins of the control of my life, of trying to think that I was responsible for everything, that I could do it all, that I knew better than God knew about what my life should look like, about what my career should look like. And the minute I released it and truly and honestly and totally and wholly gave it away to Him, everything changed. It took a little bit of time. It was about 3 months after that before I got cast in The Chosen. But I knew in that moment that this answered prayer was the beginning of the next chapter of my life. And my life has never been the same since.
Had no idea these two were connected. Russell became Christian and Jonathan placed Jesus in The Chosen. What a full circle moment. Why not film it with 4K Ultra HD? How come it still looks like footage from the 1970s when NASA faked it?
The dude who got the Neuralink implant now has aim hacks in his brain.
I basically have an aimbot in my head.
That motherfucker's cheating! Earlier this year, Nolan Arbaugh, who is a quadriplegic due to a swimming accident, was revealed to be the first human to get the brain implant from Elon Musk's company Neuralink. And in a live stream, Nolan showed that his implant could control a cursor to use computers, and of course, play video games again. An advancement in accessibility to this scale is truly mind-blowing. But if you ask Nolan himself, it might have gone too far.
Sometimes it's so good that it's moving before I even, think it to move.
That's right. Nolan himself thinks that he has an unfair advantage in video games now that no physical inputs are required and it's all just through his noggin. In fact, he believes that one day this might actually become an issue.
Probably have different leagues for people like me because it's just not fair.
Wait until they start disabling your brain when you miss a payment. Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
Alaskans, of course we don't know what darkness is.
So, I lived in Alaska for 3.5 months, close to 4 months in 2013. And I was there with 3 other roommates. We were all taking the same courses in college, and we decided to just, hey, let's go to Alaska. Our professor has a cabin up there. Let's see what she says. Whatever. We ended up in Alaska for 3.5 months or 4 months, and we worked there. We didn't have any money. We're not rich kids, right? So we worked there. We had jobs there. I was a barista at the Flying Squirrel in Talkeetna, Alaska. And Talkeetna, Alaska is actually just miles away from the highest mountain peak in North America, which is Denali Mountain. I think they changed the name from Mount McKinley to Mount Denali now. You know, like the trucks, Denali, like that. So we were 800 miles, I think, away from Mount Denali. And that was the main pit stop for all these mountain climbers, Talkeetna. Anyways, we were there for 3.5 months, and everybody that was there, everybody looked like that. And gave you this more than looks. I'm not talking about looks here. I'm not making fun of anybody. All I'm saying is this. It was culture shock. I'm from the valley. I'm from Brownsville, Texas, the deep, deep, deep south. Not San Antonio, not Corpus. I'm from Brownsville. You go outside and it's extreme heat. It could burn you alive. And dust and dirt and sand everywhere because we're close to the beach. So that's my culture, right? That's my environment, the environment that I'm used to dealing with. We just went on a trip to Rome, Italy, and Paris. We were there for a little bit too. We didn't experience that culture shock. It was shocking to see the grandeur of buildings and just people's class and the way they dressed. It was beautiful. Everything was just over the top beautiful. And the food, I cannot describe the food to you guys in Italy. But never did I experience the amount of culture shock that I experienced in Alaska. And I just told my fiance days ago, I said, you need to go to Alaska. I'm and I want to take you. He goes, why? And I said, you remember we didn't experience culture shock in Italy. We were just in awe the whole time. We were wow, about everything. But it wasn't culture shock. People just act like people, and it smells the way it smells. The city. Why am I talking about smells? When I got down from the airplane in Alaska, when we landed in Anchorage, I remember the first thing I did was, and I'm what is that? And my professor said, that's the spruce. It's a tree, right? And I'm okay. I've traveled other places. It smells the same as any other place. But when I landed in Anchorage, it smelled different. It was a different, guys, what I'm getting to here is that is a different world. That is the last frontier. Alaska, I don't know what's in there, but I heard horror stories from people. Like I said, Anchorage was the spot that mountain climbers would end up in before climbing Mount Denali. People would just talk about it like it was nothing. They would just say, well, a lot of them don't make it back. A lot of them are going to die. And I'm just if it was hey, you want to go to brunch tomorrow? Yeah, a lot of them are going to die. Okay, cool. They will. We didn't have cars. We had to ride our bikes everywhere. We encountered bears, moose. And moose are not like horses. Moose are like humongous. And it's scary. They look nice on TV, but they're scary. And we were riding our bikes one time downtown to Talkeetna, and I had to tell my friend he had lost his glasses or he had broken them, and I said, Albert, stop. I'm like, can't you see? Like, there's a humongous moose in front of you. We went into, like, guys, this is for another video. You know what? I'm going to have to post more stuff about my experience in Alaska because I'm going to go back. But let me tell you, biggest culture shock was Alaska in my life.
I'm from Indonesia. When I hear that it's light outside when it's supposed to be night, something don't sit right with me. But still, I would love to go to Alaska. If you're from Alaska, share your experience, please.
What would you do if you remembered a song that no one else did, and there was no trace of this song anywhere on the internet? Well, this actually happened to a man named Tyler Gillette, and this is the wildest music mystery. One day Tyler was singing a song, and his wife asked, "What is that? Did you make that up?" And he goes, "No, this was a huge hit in the 90s. You don't know it?" And he starts searching up song lyrics to find a song title. Problem is, Google doesn't know what he's talking about. There's no lyric websites, no YouTube hits, nothing. Except for one post on a Stratocaster forum where a guy from Trinidad and Tobago was playing the intro on guitar and had one song lyric. But when Tyler reached out to him, he got no response. So Tyler did what any sane person would do, which is record the entire song with your voice and then try to soundhound that recording.
Long before I held you in my dreams.
Unsurprisingly, nothing. Parallel to this, Tyler had written into the Reply All podcast, which is an internet culture-focused podcast, and they took a serious interest in this mystery. So serious that they helped him get a band together so they could turn his iPhone recording into a full-fledged song with instruments. Despite this being a far more fleshed out song, Soundhound still didn't recognize it. And neither did any of the music business contacts that Reply All were able to ask.
The song itself makes me go, oh, that's what people thought we sounded like.
Oh, wow. So Steven did not recognize the song. Does it ring a bell?
No.
So she didn't remember it.
So in a last-ditch effort, they just looked up the lyrics on Facebook. And they found a post by a man from the Philippines who had posted all of the lyrics. And in the comments of that post, they were able to track down the writer of the original song, which is a man named Evan Scott Olson. So how in the world was Tyler Gillette the only guy who knew this hit song? In the late 90s, Evan Scott Olson would hand out his CDs for free. And it just so happens that one of those CDs found their way into the hands of someone who worked at Universal Music. And pretty much all at once, Evan was flown out, signed to a record label, and his CDs were sent out to radio stations to be played worldwide. The problem is, that's where it stopped. The album was released, but there was no tour, no promotion, no nothing. So after 1999, the odds that you heard this song organically on the radio was really slim. Evan Scott Olson still works in the music industry and says he's actually super thankful for this song despite it not becoming the hit that it was supposed to. And Tyler Gillette gets to rest easy at night knowing he isn't absolutely insane.
Long before I held you in my dreams.
I bet he felt so much better now that he found the song.
Today's reading is from James chapter 1 verses 2 and 3. It says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness." So the Lord wants us to count all of our trials, like basically be thankful that we're going through trials because it builds character. You know, it builds something that we were lacking, that we wouldn't have gotten unless we went through the trial, you know? So when you're going through trials, you know, go to God, ask for strength and courage, or whatever you may be lacking in, and He'll provide it for you. And to be thankful that God is letting you go through this trial so that you can gain patience or steadfastness or whatever you may be lacking. Thank you for watching.
Trials are tough, but they shape us. Grateful for the growth they bring.
Something really weird is going on today, nationwide, but nobody's talking about it. Why is that? So I went to Walmart today to get my elderly father-in-law a refrigerator and a coffee pot because he just moved in with me. And after about an hour of shopping, I noticed all the employees were coming back into the store with carts, putting stuff back. Until finally I was approached by an employee and said, hey, you have perishables in your cart and right now our systems are down. So you might want to think about putting them back because we don't know when the system's going to be back up. And then I realized all of the cashiers were gone from the front. They were all bringing stuff back that they had to return for people that couldn't make their purchases. They were in the store. There was people lined up waiting for these systems to come back online. The managers were passing out waters like it was a hot day outside and everybody was standing outside. And I was starting to really wonder what the heck's really going on here. So I started putting my stuff back. I'm talking on the phone, so I'm not paying no attention anyways. It's not a big deal. So I figured I'll wait for a little while and see if they come back up. And they did not. I went all the way to the back of the store to put the refrigerator back and put the movie I had got back. And finally, after about 3 hours, an employee came up to me and said, hey, all of our systems are down right now and we're gonna need everybody to leave the store. I'm like, wait, like right now? She's like, yeah, I'll finish putting stuff back in your cart for you. You don't even have to do that. We just need everybody to leave right now. But Walmart closing down for an entire 3 hours or so, it's a big deal. That's thousands of dollars that they're out on. Why, when I got home, nobody was reporting on it? No news, no nothing. So that's when I made my video and started making a report about it. And I was shocked with how many other people said it was our state too. Our state, Walmart went down, but not only Walmart. Other stores like Kroger, CVS, Walgreens. I know the Federal Reserve got hacked yesterday, allegedly, and no, the hackers aren't giving any proof yet, but I think it has something to do with it. What do you think? So I went through and made a list of all of the states that people said that it happened in their state today too. And there is 17 states. I listed all of the companies that people were saying that happened to. It's not only Walmart. There are 17 other companies that it happened to today too, including the Federal Reserve and allegedly the IRS got hacked today too. But my point of all this was that I feel like something bigger is coming. If the Federal Reserve and the electronic system goes down in this country, what are you going to do? Do you have cash on hand? Do you have water on hand? Do you have food backup? Do you have ways to cook your food if everything goes down? Are you able to take care of your family if you're not able to use your debit card to pay for things? So I feel like the Holy Spirit is just prompting us to all be ready because something big is coming. I can feel it. I know you can feel it. So let me know if there's any other states or countries or companies that this is happening to so we can band together. Forget the government trying to tell us the news. They tell us propaganda. We are the only ones who can look out for each other. So let's do that. And thank you to everyone for commenting what happened in your state too on my video, because that really let me know that something else is coming. It wasn't just my state, it wasn't just my Walmart, and it wasn't just me. So thanks.
Ever get the feeling that you're being prepared and conditioned to accept certain new realities when they arise? Everyone should watch the old movie The Net with Sandra Bullock.
I found out today somebody lived there. This is the real definition of motion. This dude and his family actually lived there 24/7. No worries. They have 1,800 rooms to choose from, 250 bathrooms. And, if you want to go for a swim, they have 5 to choose from. Just, up to you that day. On a 2 million square foot palace, iniquitous work. I mean, talk about luxurious. I just know this entire room, I can't afford nothing in here. And on top of that, they have like 500 chandeliers, 45 different staircases, and 51,000 light bulbs. So electricity bill has to be absolutely vociferous. I couldn't have like, imagine you're on this walkway, you just could be like, oh yeah, man, I'm about to just go home. I've been, what, that museum? The palace? Oh no, yeah, I live there. What you mean? Here's one of the 40 staircases. I mean, just look at every room. Should just look gold plate. This looks like real motion. This looks like royalty. Not that old This dude right here is doing it right. He got a 110 car garage. Imagine being able to drive a different whip every 3 days, and you know every single whip is extravagant. Real motion. Then somewhere in this vicinity in the Cut Like Peroxide, he has an air-conditioned stable for 200 polo ponies. 200. How many teams are you fielding, my brother? You having individual games? I have no idea how polo works. Too rich of a sport for me. And you know, if this ever comes across your page, man, just send me an invite. I'd love to come for dinner, stay in one of your 1,700 rooms. I know you got a banquet hall with 5,000 guests, and you have a mosque for 1,500 people. I could be one of them people. You know, I would love to be. I'll be there. Come to dinner. You know, take a tour. How do you take a tour of 2 million square feet? That probably takes hours. I'm down though. I'll walk the whole entire property. I'll even play with the polo horses. Just let me know, brother.
He's just learning about the Sultan of Brunei. Bro has like 1,000 plus cars.
Right. Pine pollen. Go in the health food store and try to buy a jar of pine pollen. It's going to cost you because the pine is called the evergreen because when the pine is the first one to release its pollen to pollinate all the others to give them permission to go ahead and release your pollen. That's why in the city, they always keep male trees in the city because if you have females, it will pollinate and produce fruit. You don't want that. You want to create allergies. Pollen, when it's released, you have to have the opposite. So if you release a sperm and you ain't got no woman, you ain't gonna produce no kids.
They've been. Okay, I missed it. So what's he saying pine pollen is good for?
Hiding this from you. During the 1900s, bells around the world were all collected and destroyed. Governments claimed it was due to the metal shortage during the world wars. However, it is believed that there is a much more sinister motive. Bells are powerful tools. They are not just signals that another hour has passed. These bells clear negative energy, raise vibrations, and connect us with higher realms. Fully aware of this, they were destroyed to suppress human awakening and maintain control over our collective consciousness. By eliminating these powerful instruments, society is forced to a lower vibrational state, and a further disconnect is made between us and the realms above. But it gets even deeper. In 1953, the standard frequency of music was intentionally adjusted from 432 Hz to 440 Hz. The 440 Hz frequency is considered disharmonious and disruptive to our energy fields, while the 432 Hz frequency is believed to align with the Earth's natural resonance, promoting healing and awakening. Without the sound of bells and the constant exposure to modern music, society is being kept at a lower vibrational state, resulting in our connection to the divine being weakened.
Someone told me the bells vibrated at a frequency that made the reptilian shapeshifters or demons from disguising themselves as humans. Is that true? Let me know in the comment.
I was today years old when I found out alligators and crocodiles, they are immortal. Like they can't die of old age forever. Like there's no disease. If they don't get killed by some random other animal, jaguar, tiger, hippopotamus, you never know. There's a lot of shit that can kill you out there. But if they don't get killed, they can live forever. So like potentially there's some 550-year-old crocodile, alligator swimming around right now that could kill you and you have no idea this dude has been around since slavery. You know what I mean? That's crazy to think about. They have no lifespan. They live and grow unless they are affected by disease, accident, or another predator. Crocodiles, alligators do not die because of old age. That doesn't mean they are immortal. Well, to me, that means they're immortal because you could just live on forever unless something come out and kill you. Like that's why they was roaming around with dinosaurs in them because they did not need to change. They are already elite killers, very intelligent. They be lying in the Cut Like Peroxide, just waiting on their prey by the shoreline, snatch, got kill them. That's one terrible way to go. I've seen some of them shits on camera. Bro, they be doing that little death roll and it's over. So, yeah, learn something new today. Can't die of old age. Immortal. Why can't we tap into their DNA? Give me some little crocodile alligator shit. I'm trying to live to 700.
Basically, they keep growing their whole life, but eventually die because they can no longer eat enough to maintain their body size or mass.
Dr. Bracken just proved by using ancient manuscripts that the New Testament has more evidence towards it than other figures in history. Check it out.
How many copies of ancient writings do we have? When we talk about somebody like Caesar, the works written about him, we have over 10. Plato? 7. Thucydides, 8. Tacitus, an impressive 20. Suetonius, 8. Homer, writer of the Odyssey and Iliad, an astounding 643. And, with the New Testament, an unbelievable 24,000 plus. Why does that matter? Well, because the truth is, we're not exactly sure that what we have with Plato is accurate. But we have a really good idea that the New Testament we have is the one that was intended for us.
Crazy that is the only ancient writings people care to dispute. Won't even read a sentence from it before rejecting it.
Store named itself Going Out of Business, and the idea behind this was genius. The guy who runs this store is named Cyrus, and he found out that every time he went out of business in a different location, that's actually when he would make the most money. That's when he thought to himself, hey, what if I just perpetually say that I'm going out of business and I just make it the name of my store? So he put his genius plan into practice by actually making the sign Going Out of Business ginormous on the store, even though he was completely fine and he was not going out of business anytime soon. But eventually people caught on, and the Texas Attorney General forced him to rename his store, at least temporarily. But there are a lot of other funny examples of this, like a brand that was literally named Made in the USA. So in reality, they could make their shirts anywhere but just say that their shirts were made in the USA because that was their brand. For this other restaurant that literally named itself Thai Food Near Me. This led them to rank higher on SEO than Thai food places that were actually closer to people, because this matched the name exactly of what people typed in on Google.
Smart.
For more genius case studies like this, there's a reason 2.5k people join my free newsletter in bio.
We have a furniture store here that has been going out of business for almost 20 years.
This was chiseled out of marble. Yes, including the net. The net was chiseled out of a single block of marble. It took the artist 7 years. Can you imagine? The statue is called The Release from Deception. It was finished in 1754 by artist Francesco Chiarolo. This is my second favorite sculpture of all time, and this guy had to do it himself because no assistants would work with him. No other sculptors in the area wanted to touch this net. They thought he was nuts. And I say that even this is only my second favorite sculpture of all time. The first is, to me, even more powerful than this. The piece I'm about to show you captures a moment in time, a moment in a conflict, and in it I think a lot of you will see yourselves. This statue capturing the battle between Hercules and Diomedes was sculpted in the mid-16th century. It was sculpted by Vincenzo de Rossi. You could currently find it on display in Florence. And I find this so powerful because it captures a pivotal moment in a conflict, and what happens next is left to play out only in your imagination. It is believed that the two models who posed for this piece had to remain in this position for 6 months.
Couldn't believe it, so Google it. The net is indeed carved out of the same single piece of marble. Now it's my favorite too.
For some mysterious reason, in the past few months, there's been loads of videos popping up all over social media of people buying what looks like fake food. It all started just a couple of weeks ago in the United States when several people started noticing that there was something off about the watermelon that they were buying on the supermarkets.
So I got this watermelon up, and I like to rinse my watermelon before I cut it, and it's like pinning. Does anybody has problems with their watermelon like this? Oh my gosh.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It sounds like the goat is dying.
There are dozens of videos where people buy watermelon from the supermarket and it looks strange. Sometimes it looks like plastic, sometimes it makes these weird noises, and sometimes, or many times actually, it feels as if it's made out of rubber.
So I cut watermelon for my kids, and they're all bringing it right back, saying they don't like the texture. And I've seen enough videos of people posting rubbery watermelon. I can't believe I got one. I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture is so weird. Like, you gotta bend it so far before it
will break.
But it wasn't just rubbery, there was something else about the watermelon that was bothering a lot of people.
Okay, y'all, I threw this watermelon out over a week ago. It smelled really good. Bought it for more. Cut it open, and it was like plastic. Tasting it was absolutely horrible. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I threw it outside. This is a week later. It looks like mud. What's going on?
It was pretty obvious that there was something off about the watermelon and a lot of people were noticing it. But here's the thing, it wasn't just the watermelons.
There you go.
People were also noticing the same thing happening with avocados, blueberries, bananas, and the list goes on.
We got it from the supermarket, but when she opens it and she breaks it in half, it gets very tough and doesn't really break. And when it pulls, it's like it's glue. It's very tight and doughy. It looks very, very fake and Play-Doh.
In this next video, Ari Osborne explains how she bought blueberries in the supermarket. When she gave it to her kid, she noticed that one of them looked like it was made out of rubber. Check this out.
It's left in her little bowl and I put it down the drain for the garbage disposal. And I push the button, you know, it's doing its thing, but there's a clanking and it sounds like something's stuck. So I go in the drain and there's a blueberry that's not breaking apart. It's not. I pick it up and why is there a rubber blueberry in my toddler's snack?
She cut it in half and it actually looks as if it's made out of silicone or something like that. Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger. In this next video, a woman tests out the food in the supermarket using a magnet, and this is what happens.
Look at this shit. Put a magnet that I got from here into the great chicken. Try for look at that shit.
After these videos were posted and became a viral sensation, it made a lot of people ask the same question. Are we possibly eating fake food? What's your take?
If an animal or ants won't eat it, there's a reason. And don't buy your food from the home decor section.
Documentary just came out about the cult People's Temple and I am blown away. It has been a long time since we got a documentary about this and this one fixates on the day of the massacre. If you guys don't know what People's Temple is, it was a massive cult led by a man named Jim Jones. And it all ended with over 900 Americans drinking cyanide-laced Kool-Aid in the jungles of Guyana. This is where the term drinking the Kool-Aid comes from. What makes this documentary so special is the days leading up to this massacre were all filmed and we're now just seeing it. This documentary explores all the events that led up to this horrendous day and it's told by the few people that survived. And the footage, which is crazy, and if you haven't seen the aerial photos, well, it just played there, of the people laying on the ground after they drank this Kool-Aid, it is one of the most crazy things I've ever seen. Let me know what you guys think about this one and hit follow for more recommendations.
If you haven't watched the one Sundance did for the 40th anniversary, it's very much worth the watch. It's a deep dive. Highly recommend.
Houston, 42,000 new HIV diagnoses last week. Keep listening to Sexy Red. Bow, bow, bow. Keep listening to the City Girls. See, what they won't tell you, that this is the dark side that comes with this lifestyle that they promote.
Yep.
What Megan Thee Stallion said, I don't want to be saved, don't save me. See, I got enough wisdom to know there are some women who don't want to be saved. They don't want the wisdom, the knowledge, the education. They just want to be picked.
Yep.
They just want to be sexualized. The Bible calls them a reprobate mind. So, I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to stay in my Bible.
Yes.
And I'm going to stay in my bag. And I'm going to stay out the way. Because God's way is the safest.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, about 70% of those new diagnoses are Gen Z,
Oof.
27 and below.
Man.
This hypersexual agenda that's being pushed through our media and our music and our TV shows is ruining a lot of people's lives and is demonic, affecting our younger generation, and is putting this pressure on them to have a certain image. Your body need to look a certain way. Your teeth need to look a certain way. This is the type of lace front you need to have. And it's causing extreme depression and mental illness to reach perfection. So this lifestyle that is being promoted and celebrated, so this is the result of it. These HIV cases, this is the result of it. And I blame the media, the music, and some of these influencers.
Oh.
I blame them for allowing the enemy to use you to bring people to the pit. Because it's sad. It's sad that this is what your life has come to. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna be in my Bible.
Yes.
I'm gonna be in my bag, and I'm gonna be out the way. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let me know, have you been tested? Have you been tested for HIV? Because there's a lot of people walking around undiagnosed. They don't even know they got it. Won't even go get tested. So, y'all gotta be safe because sex has become too accessible through social media. You know, sex wasn't that accessible back in the day, 10, 15 years ago. Now, you could just DM a person. You like my picture? I like your picture? Okay, let's link up.
Oof.
That's way too much access and way too fast, and you don't even know that person. Oh, and Atlanta ain't no better. Anywhere there's a big city of like partying, there's gonna be high cases of HIV. Any city, New York, LA, Houston, anywhere. Because where there is wickedness, there's gonna be the penalty for sin, the disease for sin. So choose God's way and stay out the way. You ain't gonna have to worry about burning, itching, migraines,
Yup.
all these side effects that come with these diseases. You ain't have to worry about none of that when you just stay pure. Just stay pure.
Preach it, sister. Then you got people who blatantly know they got it and just out here mad at the world trying to infect people on purpose, which ain't nothing but the devil work.
This piece had been broken off over here and had fossilized. And what's interesting about it, the Bible says that they used gopher wood.
Yes.
And we've discovered that this is laminated. It's getting dried out. You can't see it, but there's a layer. There's a layer. Here's a layer. And this is a very thick layer right here. But what else is interesting is it talks about it was covered in pitch. You know, he was told to cover it in pitch. And if you'll look right here, you can see that it looks like some sort of a glue substance or something was oozing out here. Like a lady ices a cake, puts frosting on a cake, and then puts a layer on top and it squeezes out. And so it looks like it was pressed together with maybe bitumen or something that was very, very strong to laminate the wood.
Yeah.
I need zero proof, but it's wonderful to see it.
All right, so I was asked to watch and react to this video, so here we go.
You have an obligation
to be a part of that decision.
You might think it's not
Okay,
important. You
Marvel
might think
characters, right? I mean, they're actors that play Marvel characters, so it must be another Marvel movie, right? No. Okay. Well, let's see.
you're not important.
But that's not true.
Comedian.
And the only way we can
Him
prove
again.
that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots. Okay, hang on. Wait. That guy. Wasn't he accused of some really nasty stuff?
Yep.
And the woman there, I don't know who she is. She's famous, apparently. I don't know for what. Anyhow.
Lots of famous people. Just a shit ton of famous people.
Oh, I know who she is.
But you only get this many famous
comedian.
people together if the issue's
one that truly matters to all of us.
A disease or
ecological.
Okay, so it's a bunch of comedians and actors talking about something very serious, or they think is very serious. I don't know. Is it an SNL skit? Is this a fake skit?
crisis or
A racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Do the math.
Oh. 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 I get it now. I see. Yeah. That's crazy. That is bonkers. And what does math have to do with anything? Okay, I'll just keep watching.
Do we
whatever.
really want to give
I don't know
nuclear
who that guy
weapons
is.
to a man whose signature move
Never
is
seen that
firing?
before.
firing
Her again. Him again.
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
You guys
Yeah.
are
We
silly.
can save the day.
Who is that?
For our children.
For our children.
For our children. For our communities.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For
Wait.
America.
Wait. Hang on. Was that girl crying?
Yep,
I don't
looks
know who
like
she is
it.
either, but was she crying? That's a little dramatic. Oh, wait, they're actors. They're actors, guys.
For America.
You can't tell me this is not an SNL skit. Are they for real?
For America.
I
There you
don't know
go
who she
again.
is. She's crying again.
All it takes
Nice eyes.
is all of us.
All of us.
Shut
All
up.
of us.
We
I
cannot
know who he is.
pretend both sides are equally unfavorable.
We can't say one vote doesn't matter.
Your vote matters.
Your vote matters. It affects everything.
Not just the
Ew.
presidency, but the Senate.
The House.
your local
that's a
officials.
jerk.
Immigration. Student debt. Common sense gun laws.
The Supreme Court.
See, this isn't just an election, it's a tipping point.
For the country.
For the world.
For your world.
You're not taking your advice from a bunch of actors, right? No one is actually doing that. Is anyone actually doing that? Are we sure that wasn't an SNL skit? I can't even.
They overestimate their own significance in the lives of us everyday people.
Other site on the dark web that you should definitely know about. So the site is called RPWT, which is rumored to stand for Right Place, Wrong Time. This is also my first time posting a site that I don't actually have access to. I was able to find the link, but I do not have a password. And I've tried a couple guesses, but to no avail, so if anyone has any ideas, let me know. The site says enter it and they will come, and there's a reason for that, which I think is important for people to know. So I haven't been able to try it out because I don't have a password, but the person I got the link from said that basically there's an app for phones on the regular internet that claims to give people like randomly generated coordinates where they can go and have adventures, almost like geocaching it sounds like. I feel like I've honestly heard of this app before, but I don't remember where or what it was called, but supposedly people who use this site can enter in coordinates that people will be sent. So supposedly they can enter a location and then get notified when it's sent out, and I guess know when someone is going to be at that location. I don't really know exactly why people would want to do this, but it's definitely creepy, and I feel like people should know this is a thing. So if there are any apps you find that like send you coordinates for you to go exploring, definitely don't do that. Stay safe.
One thing that gives away the International Space Station hoax is the women. Now, women on zero-G planes with long hair, their hair flows naturally in the air. Women on the International Space Station, because this is all fraud, no matter what she does, no matter how she bounces around, you would expect her hair to flow in the air, and it does not happen. Their hair will never look like that, because it's permed.
That you could take a human hair and use it stretched out to push against a wall or a handrail, and it takes really that little effort.
Ever met someone who is so extremely dumb that they don't know how stupid they actually are? Armed with an unhealthy bias of illusory superiority, These low ability people cannot objectively evaluate their own mental shortcomings. In other words, they are too stupid to know how stupid they are.
Let me know how you feel about this series.
Away from anyone or anything that gives you bad vibes. There's no need for explaining yourself. You don't need to feel bad about it. This is your life. You need to make more space for your peace, your happiness, and your mental health. There is no more room for negativity in your future.
Does the Vatican run the world?
Figure this out. Most people don't digest this. They're the largest single stockholder in the world. They own the most property in the world that pays no taxes. Every school, every Catholic church. I mean, there's an organization a lot deeper than them called the Solidarity.
I'm not familiar with that.
Nobody
the Solidarity.
It's about 2,000-year-old club.
It's a club.
It's a club. And it's in the catacombs of the Vatican. You know, the Vatican's a city when it's in itself.
I know. I used
Just
to live right next to it.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Then you know.
I mean, I don't know like that.
Most people don't know what I'm telling you.
So they meet down there, you're saying?
That's where they are. They only meet there, period.
Right, okay.
They're very high-level profile people throughout the world. You get invited to be in it. Who's running the world? I think they are.
Wow.
When you think of what they control and what they do, it's...
I think the Rothschild banking dynasty runs the world. They control every central bank in the world. To them, the Vatican would be like piggyback money. Alright folks, I'm going to end our video with this coming clip. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. There's a free gift below if you like, and if you want to buy me coffee or support me through Patreon, the links are also in the description below. Thank you for watching. Have a prosperous day, and God bless.
Plus P equals to 28. P plus P equals to 28. How? Please pay attention. Assume you wrap this 0 and we write it here. Then you wrap this another 0. You write it here. So you left with 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1, which is equals into 2. Take this 0 here up and this 0 here down. So you got 28.